Welcome everybody. Today we're going to be installing the JP-1015 soundbar cut-in for your 18 to 23 Wrangler JL and a 2020 to 2023 JT Gladiator. To get started, what we're going to need is a soundbar. You can do this in the Jeep if you want. We opted to take it out because it's going to be easier to record. A couple tools you're going to need. You're going to want a metallic marker so you can mark out the template that you need to cut, Torx bit, Phillips, and we're using an oscillating tool here, but you can use a rotary tool, hacksaw, whatever you got around that's going to be able to cut the ABS plastic underneath these grills. So there's nothing to do it but to do it. So let's get started. So you're going to start your installation. Like I said, you can either drop the soundbar or leave it in. On my personal Jeep, we left it in to do it, but we did this for video so you guys can see it. To get started, take your hex key. This is a T5. And loosen your bolts that hold the grill on. So once you take your hex screws out, you're going to take your T20 bit and you're going to take these two speakers out of the soundbar. Alright, with the screws out, disconnect the speaker, and we're just going to go ahead and set these aside. This foam baffle can be just set to the side as well. You're not going to be reusing it. And then you have a port that has 4 T30 screws on it that you need to take out. All right, so we've reached kind of the scary part of the operation here. It's not really scary. We're going to walk you through it. That is the cutout template that you need to make to get your 6.5-inch driver in. So you're going to set the template on the soundbar. In the soundbar template, you're going to see there's a tweeter position. If you want to use that, we're not going to utilize it in this installation, but if you want to, you just cut that out. We are going to mark out all of this that we need to cut. And this is where you really have to use a little bit of common sense here, because these lines aren't going to connect. But you just want to cut across everything that you've marked out. Before you cut anything, right, because you could get ABS shards in your face, you want to go ahead and mount up your safety squints. So let me stop real quick because I actually forgot to do it myself. You're going to want to go ahead and pop out this overmolded grommet that lives inside of this cavity we're getting ready to cut off. That way you can move all of these wires out of your way, tuck them up into the soundbar so you actually don't cut them. So as you see, this cuts out very easy. You want to clean this up, but it doesn't have to be perfect. You'll see when we were cutting this, we went over these screws. There's no reason not to cut outside of your line, because if you're going to be putting this, the same template that we use to mark it, this is actually what's going to hold your speaker in. And it has a foam backing on it, so it's going to seal to the soundbar, as long as you keep clean this flashing off. And that's what we're going to do now. So as you've seen, a good sharp blade both on your cutting tool and your box tool is going to make this go really quick for you. So we're kind of on the home stretch of the installation here. Now all you have to do is get your plate in place. And we're going to put the securing screws on it now. They're self-tappers, they come in the kit. So in this plate, you're going to see there's threaded holes. That's what those machine screws hold on the trim bezel. You don't want to be putting your stinger screws through those holes. You want to be putting them through the non-threaded holes. So pop that down, grab your drill. So in the kit you get baffling, and this is going to help slow the air down for your speaker, because there was a 4-inch ported speaker in, and now you're going into a kind of a sealed enclosure situation. So we're going to put this in, covering up that, let me tilt it forward here for you guys, that tweeter connection that we don't need it no more. So we're just going to cover up, put it on the bottom. You can tape that down to make sure it doesn't rattle if you want to. It's probably not a bad idea. Next piece to go is going to be the actual cover itself, and that's what the speaker screws to. And it's held on by 4 of these Torx T20 machine screws. Pro tip: when you're putting your screws in, back off the clutch if your drill has it. That way you're not stripping out the head of your bolts. So now that you got your plate on, let's connect up our speaker harness. And we got a nice little kicker 6.5 here. All right, so with that, you're done. Everything's connected. You can put your sound bar back in and enjoy your fuller, richer sound. If your speaker doesn't come with a cover, we do have some available within the saddle tramp line that will fit inside of this area. But I personally like the look, so it's really up to you. But with that, your installation's complete.